Hello everyone, and welcome to a new playthrough of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We're playing for the 0.18 release tournament, and the next Nemelex choice is a Vampire Venom Mage, which just I don't know. It's like, okay, they're fine-ish. You can get poison resistance, which is pretty good, just by being a little thirsty, which helps with like Olgrev's Toxic Radiance and all that. It's just like not great, and I'm a little bit worried about playing it and losing my streak. And the streak is worth a lot of points right now. It's worth more than a Nemelex choice, and I do like streaking, but I also like doing the Nemelex choice. I'd like to get a 4-win streak because there's a banner for that. Not worth any points, but it's just like fun. And 4 wins is my record right now, actually, outside of the tournament. So 5, of course, would be nice, but you take what you can get. Even 2 is nice, but anyway, so we could do that, or we could do something else. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and do Vampire Venom Mage. I played one Vampire Venom Mage game before. I went Rue, and I made it to like... I don't think I got a rune. I was in Snake when I died due to badly misusing Rue's abilities and just overall misjudging everything. Yeah, let's do a Vampire Venom Mage. Where is it? X, here we go. Vampire, yes, Venom Mage, okay. I guess I should have double-checked the Nem choice here, but I'll go look. Yeah, it's Vampire Venom Mage. Okay, here we are. I think we could easily... we could easily die pretty early here. Until you get Bat Form, you're fairly flimsy. Sting is like an okay spell, but we have a bad aptitude for it. It's actually like a pretty good spell, in fact. At the things that it can do damage to. A number of monsters are immune. So the thing about being a vampire is you have to manage your hunger state all the time. And unlike other races, it's not about just being full as often as possible. Or rather, it's not about not starving to death, right? Vampires... 3 misses, huh? Vampires have different bonuses based on their hunger state. And sometimes you want to be thirsty. Not hungry, but, for them it's thirsty. So you get like, here's... there we go. There's this gigantic table of like all the stuff you get based on how hungry you are. I often kind of try to aim for alive in the early game because the regen boost is nice. But I think that's wrong-headed because especially when you get Bat Form, it's really important to have it available. It's a great escape tool. And as a Venom Mage who's probably going to be casting Toxic Radiance, I'm going to want Poison Resistance most of the time. So I'm probably going to try to hover around Thirsty. We'll see. Okay, so Sting actually, like, when it hits, that first bat took more... He survived longer than I expected. The guys after that are more like what I expect from Sting. Jesus Christ. Alright, we can Pillar Dance this guy forever, though. Unlike the bat that we fought earlier, he can't, he's like normal speed, so we can just do this all we want. Until we get enough MP for a Sting. It didn't poison him, though. I wonder if let's just Pillar Dance up to like 3 MP to make sure we get enough damage to kill him. Like right now he's healed out of our first Sting. Come on, 3 MP, please. There we go. Missed twice, so let's go back to this exciting routine. I hope no more monsters come by, because if they do, we'll be in trouble. Alright, got him. I could really use some more MP, which is why I'm training spellcasting. Cure Poison is my level 2, right? Yeah. Toxic Radiance is level 4. So we're going to have to figure out how to kill things without it. Yeah, but it's like, I mean, Sting is just good, and as long as it doesn't miss, it does quite well in the early game. The problem with it, of course, is that it misses with alarming regularity. Do I need to memorize Cure Poison? No, not really. And Mephitic Cloud is very impactful when it hits. But it not hits, but you know, when it's hard to get it castable, and it makes a lot of noise. So like, I don't know. Mephitic Cloud is a good supplement, but you need another way to kill things if you're using Mephitic Cloud. Usually that's melee. Mephitic Cloud just sort of keeps enemies occupied, so you can beat them to death without getting killed. It also lets you get stabs if you're built around that kind of thing. You get confusion stabs. Right, hitting level 2, though, honestly, was like a pretty sizable milestone, I think, for this character. Because it gave us 5 MP instead of 3. Like, that's actually a big deal. We are still not very powerful, but we're less completely at the mercy of the dungeon than we were. So I'm running away from that ooze there, obviously. Like, I think it's pretty clear what I did, but I think it's very important, especially in the early game, to never fight any more monsters at once than you have to. Ooh, stones are nice. That'll help a lot. Let's put those on auto pickup as well. Something that I'm fairly certain I mentioned. Yeah, I don't want to fight that ooze at all. I hope it never sees me. Something I'm fairly certain I've mentioned in at least one previous video, but of course, you know, you guys may not have seen them all, is there's a tavern thread. That's the crawl forums. Plate armor. Jeez. How do I get away from this guy? Sting is like not doing anything to him because he has plate armor on. If I had bat form, that would be easy. We could take the downstairs here and then come back through some different upstairs, but Dungeon 2 is pretty dangerous. We could try to pillar dance him, like we were doing with that other goblin, but with his plate armor, I honestly don't know if we can do enough damage to him. I don't know how Sting treats armor, but given that we hit him 3 times doing 0 damage each time, it probably does not work very well against armor. There are some spells that don't care about armor, like Freeze, for example. But it seems Sting is not one of them. Oh, and it's a hobgoblin, too, not just a goblin. I didn't even notice. So I feel like we can't really kill this guy, and we need to do something different. But we don't have a lot of tools. If I let him get adjacent to me, is the problem. So every time I cast a spell at him, I let him get closer to me by 1. And if I let him get adjacent to me, I can't really break that distance very easily. Is there anywhere I could like make him somehow forget me by like running in circles around a thing? Maybe if I were in here, I could. No. How much space do I have right now? He's here, so there's 2 spaces in between us. Which means like something that was exactly 2 by 2, I could dance in a circle around and he wouldn't see me, and he might eventually forget me. But we don't have anything that's that perfect 2 by 2 shape, which is what we would need if that was the plan. I don't know how good a plan it is, but we can't do it anyway. I don't think we have enough stealth that he would easily forget us, but maybe we do. Well, given that running in circles around things is not going to help, we have to decide, do we try to fight him? Or do we just try to go downstairs? I think fighting him is safer. As long as no other monsters come by, we can sort of... He's not going to do much damage, right? And eventually he'll roll bad on his armor and we'll hit him. So I think I'm gonna go for it. I think it's true that eventually he'll roll low. If not, this is going to be pretty sad. We've hit him several times, and he has never taken any damage. Yeah, so we broke... I mean, energy randomization and him attacking us meant... I mean, oops, what am I doing? Just walk right back next to him. Yeah, good work there. I still think, though, that we can eventually get lucky and kill this guy. Maybe not. Wow. How much damage does Sting do? Like, I don't know. And how does the poison damage part of it get applied? I don't know the answer to these questions. Aha! Got him, but didn't poison him. I really needed the poison to go off so he would just die. Alright, I think we gotta... Aha! Poisoned, almost dead. We got him. We got him. Okay. Ugh. So great. We're thirsty now. I mean, it's not like super great, but it's fine. It means I'm poison resistant, so if we run into an adder or something, it's less of a problem. Alright, I'm glad that worked, because if not, I don't think going downstairs was going to be a better plan. Ah, oh, this ooze is everywhere, man. How does he do it? Alright, the goblin there shouted, so we need to back off. The ooze is probably headed over in that direction. And he's poison resistant, which we just don't have a way to cope with right now. What's up with this rat? Are there more stones on the ground somewhere? No, there's one, but you know, who cares? That's it, in fact. Let's pick it up. Short sword. Yeah, I'll take it. I have a whip already, but I like short blades better for most early game characters. Just so easy to train. And vampires are like have a decent aptitude for it. We're not going to be training it anyway for the moment, but you can get stabs if you find something asleep. Like, it's just nice. Yeah, at level 3 we could pick up Mephitic Cloud, but it hardly matters. I could grab Cure Poison, I suppose. I mean, Mephitic Cloud is... it's so good. You can get stabbed with it, right? But I'm not training this stuff, like... I'm not going to train air or conjurations this early. So it's not going to be a very high fail. It's not going to be very good in terms of fail rate. I wanted to pick up that leather, but the ooze, man. Can't spend any... Oh, no! Oh, there's 2. That explains why they were everywhere. I can't fly yet, right? That's level 6 or level 3. I think it's... I forget if it's level 3 or level 6. It might be level 3, but at any rate, we're not that yet. So, the ooze is already upon us. How do we avoid letting him get adjacent? Because I don't know what we can do with this guy. Like, I don't know, maybe just tabbing him with a short sword would work. The problem is if I run like Southwest or something, I can just make things worse. If I run into any more monsters. Like, I want to run away from this guy so that I find somewhere that I can pillar dance him a bit without letting him get close to me and close the distance. But I don't think I can really do that without making things much worse by encountering additional monsters. So I think I'm going to run northeast. Just let him close into being adjacent with me. And then... or adjacent-ish anyway, yeah. He's resistant to poison, but like we could hurt him. I think a stone is actually better than sting. Now let's attack him, see like how much damage we do and how much damage he does. Okay. Alright. That was fine. I'm gonna go with Dex here. And we can bat form. I feel so much better, again, with bat form. I said I felt better when we hit level 2. I feel even better now that we're level 3. Like, each early level is a tremendous milestone for all characters. But, like, I don't know. For this character in particular, maybe. Maybe not any more than anyone else. But, okay, good. Alright, so I maybe didn't need to be as worried about the oozes as I was. Let's wear this leather. Just one more AC, and we could learn Mephitic Cloud, but... oh yeah, I was talking about learning Cure Poison, which I should, because I don't expect poison to be really a problem. You know, we're going to be poison resistant pretty much all the time, but like, you never know. It's only 2 spell levels and we're not using them for anything else. So might as well have that emergency plan ready, even though I don't really see it being useful. Alright, we made it through Dungeon 1. Wow! This is not the Dungeon 2 entrance that I want. Let's go. Yeah, Dart Slug, Worm, Ball Python, Kobold, Bat, Goblin, Hobgoblin even. Wait a minute, something weird just happened, didn't it? Look at that. That happened right when I hit V to look at this Hobgoblin for some reason. Interesting. There's still this like known bug that occasionally you just like, you see a little snippet as if you had stood in this ridiculous place. I see. So I've seen it before. I've seen a bug that I thought was a different one than this, where like it shows you the map, a section of the map, like as if you had stood there, like as if you had picked this one tile and stood in it. And I thought it was sort of separate from this weird 3x3 rock thing appearing, but it occurs to me now, no, it's showing me what would happen if you stood right here. So there's some kind of weird thing that you do on the map screen that sometimes causes the game to think you're at a different spot and reveal the map of that spot to you. Don't know why. Still don't really even know how to track it down because I can't reproduce it reliably. But I don't know, I just realized something about it that I didn't know before, right? Should I be reading scrolls? And the answer is like, no, not really. What am I doing? I don't want to be close to the adder. I want to be far away. They're poison susceptible, and we're poison resistant, so it ought to be okay to go picking a fight with him. Yeah. So Venom Mages, yeah, let's drink a potion of blood here. As the game says in the description of Venom Mage, like Venom Mages tend to have a fairly good early game, as long as you avoid the enemies who are completely immune to everything they can do. And then their late game is a bit rougher. You have to, but like, I don't know, not even the late game, but like, it doesn't really generally make sense to talk about the late game of a particular background, because the background is a survival kit for getting through the early game. It is not the direction you have to take your character forever. Like, I don't imagine we'll be casting any poison spells in Zot, right? I mean, oh, he has a sling. I love slings. But I kind of need to get away from him for now. We're low on MP and also a bit low on HP. A dagger. I don't know. I'll keep the short sword. But I would like to steal his sling when I am done killing him. Oh, I even know it's uncursed. Wheel down. Great. Let's pick up bullets as well. We haven't done any yet, right? We haven't. Okay. So I just love slings in the early game. They're so strong. Anyway, so like the late game, there's no such thing as the Venom Mage late game, just like for a lot of characters. I mean, it's a few that strongly encourage you, like Berserker. You kind of play the whole game like a Berserker, and you can't like start picking up spells unless you abandon Trog, which is possible but dangerous. So like the background is encouraging you not to ever cast spells. But for most, it's like, yeah, your late game is it's kind of like the vampire late game more than the Venom Mage late game. What I mean is that there is such a thing as like the vampire late game, but there isn't really such a thing as the Venom Mage late game. Your race continues to have an... Ooh. Nope. That's such a bad plan. Every time I take a Picellus Altar, I'm real sad. On a spellcasting background. I'm depending way too much on my spells right now, and Picellus stops magic regen, and also I will need Bat Form, which costs 2 MP. I just can't do it, Picellus, sorry. And I don't have a Picellus win yet. I'd like to get one, possibly during the tournament, who knows? But now is just not the time, I'm afraid. Yeah, we're poisoned. I guess we could cure it. Sure. Shouldn't have cured it. Now I need my MP for killing this guy. It turns out though, like, just Sling and Sting are going to be good enough, I think. I don't want to deal with this kobold while I'm at 1 MP, so we're just going to go back to the staircase to recover. Something I haven't mentioned is how is the Nem choice race looking? How late are we at getting on this train? And the answer is we're fairly late, I think. But nobody is terribly far along. Like first place is level 21, and then after that it's like level 10. So we can catch up pretty quick. Yeah, what? I'm trying to figure. Like, I check out when something happened, but it's always hard to figure out from the time zones of the tournament. Okay, so yeah, the Nem choice was won at noon, and it's now 5. So in the 5 hours since the Nem choice came out, one player has gotten to level 21, and a bunch of players have gotten to like level 10. So, and there's always like there's no particular danger that 8 players will win it before we do if we hurry at all. Oh, an enchanted dagger. I don't think so. If it's cursed, I would lose my sling, and that's just an unbearable loss to me. We're level 4. We could learn Olgrebs, but we can't really cast it yet anyway. So let's turn off spellcasting. We're doing okay on that stuff. We have enough MP. Let's let it get to 3.5 so we get to 10 MP. Just like spellcasting is kind of useful at half level increments. You don't want to stop it. I think it's half levels. Anyway, you don't want to stop it at like 0.3. It's sort of just wasted experience then. All right, Sting is like sort of getting to be a spell that reliably does some damage. Scale mail though. That reliably does some damage, and that we can cast several times, which like is a great place for a spell to be. I'm not nearly so worried about this Hobgoblin as I was about the Goblin earlier, even though our stings appear to be doing no damage. There we go, that one worked. 2 reasons for that. One is that, well, you know, scale isn't as heavy as plate, and we could afford more stings. But also because we have bat form now, and so if he got adjacent to us, we could still run away. This is an interesting little columnar hall here. Any altars or anything in here? Weird vaults often have an altar in the early game when there's just altars everywhere. So I like to look around at them. But this one, it doesn't seem like there's anything. There could be still, but it just looks like decor. A lot of stones. Anyway, like with bat form, you move twice as quickly as normal, so you can get distance from the monsters that are pursuing you. Oh, there's all this stuff, huh? How much of it is left? I think I've killed most of it, actually. Yeah. So you can use it to like run to a staircase and then go upstairs and lose a monster. Where if you don't have access to, ooh, interesting, great sword this early. That could be a thing we train, for sure. Not right now. We're still depending on all this other stuff instead. Hello. All right, there we go. We're back. It's not accepting my... it was just a little bit of lag there while we were fighting that guy for some reason. What was I talking about? Well, we found a great sword, but I think I was saying something before that. Bat form. yeah, if you don't have access to extra speed, it's sort of hard to lose an enemy who's gotten adjacent to you. So bat form is just a very, very good retreat tool. We've done everything on this floor, right? Yeah, let's go. I'm not thrilled about being near bloodless. Well, I don't know. I guess it's fine. It reduces our HP regen, but until we actually take damage, that is irrelevant. And it gives us better cold resist, better negative energy resist, than just being thirsty. So, like, why not, right? And then when I need it, when I need some more blood in me to regen health, I can just drink a potion of blood. I'm making sure to bottle the blood of the things I'm killing most of the time. Ooh. And what is this? A red stone wall? So that's clearly some kind of vault, right? If I had to guess, it could be one of the Nemelex altars that's shaped like a heart or a diamond. Or it could be maybe a Makleb altar. Or Zom. You never know with Zom, right? But we have Egypt to worry about, right? He's wearing leather, doesn't have a weapon. He could have a wand. Egypt often has a wand, which is pretty nasty. What do we do with him? I think we just bat form away, honestly. 22% to fail? Wow, we gotta get to a higher level, man. And while we're running, we'll see if Egypt zaps any wands at us. And if he does, we'll find out he has some, but still be able to like get away. If we stood and fought and then discovered he had a wand, that would be probably pretty problematic. Now that I know he's basically not dangerous, I can afford to like try to hurt him here. He's poisoned now. That's how to do it, right? Yeah. Let's go check out that red wall, huh? Oh, it's this one. It's the multicolored wall hallway, and then at the end there's going to be an altar to some god. I don't think it's biased at all towards particular gods. I think it's just any god can be at the end there. So we could get something good or something totally useless. Interestingly, nobody has won a Kiku Bakudya game yet. A teleport trap! How cruel! I just wanted to check this out. Alright, whatever. A broad axe. Zom. Please. So we found actually two like pretty high tier weapons already. Like a broad axe is the strongest one-handed axe, although one-handed axes are like not a very good weapon type. And greatsword is like a good two-handed sword. Actually, is it the only... It's the only two-handed sword aside from triple swords that I can think of. I don't think there is anything else. Anyway, we're not taking a Zom altar. No thank you. I wonder, just out of curiosity, how many points are being awarded for Zom at the moment. There has been a single win with Zom as a god for 104 points, is what we would get. Yeah, no thanks. Nothing could persuade me to take Zom on a 2-game win streak. I don't think. A bunch of kobolds and a bunch of water. Well, let's back off so we only fight 1 or 2 of them at a time. And we'll lure them down this way. Did we attract anyone else? All right, I don't really want to be bloodless. I mean, poison immunity is nice, but I really want to be regenerating some health at all times. Maybe that's like silly, but I just would feel uncomfortable. Is he coming? He forgot me. You know, you could say, oh, just wait until you get damaged and then quaff it, right? But that means that in combat, you'll be like regenerating 0 health, right? If you get hit. Ooh, orcs. I'm going to leave him alone because orcs often travel in packs. Oh, really? Is this the Knoll Castle? It doesn't look quite right. Might be something else. I think it is. I'm just misremembering what the moat is shaped like, maybe? No, I don't think so. This is like a... I mean, I don't think the Knoll moat can ever have kobolds in it anyway. This is like some special kobold-themed castle-like vault. No, this looks like it for sure. This is the Knoll Castle. Just has kobolds in it today. All right, didn't know that could happen. There's going to be a lot of monsters and a lot of experience in here. So we're going to have to be careful, but if we do, we can get big rewards. And I don't think it should be too dangerous. We can handle kobolds. As long as I said, we're careful. And we handle them one at a time. All right, that's 3 kobolds at a time, which is more than 1, and therefore we will not fight them all at once. All right, how are we doing on Olgrebs? Let's memorize it now, even though I don't think I'm going to want to cast it too soon. We might as well have it, right? Whoa, 3 kobolds. All right, we killed one. Still 2 left. The other one's down there. You know what, let's just be safe and fly away here. There are 2 kobolds, and like more could be closing in on us. So let's just make some distance. There we go. Now we'll come back, and the fight is reset. Alright, there's that pack of kobolds down. We're going to be here on Dungeon 3 for a while. There's just so much stuff to go through. Ooh, big kobolds even. That's interesting. I do like that your glyph turns into a bee when you're a bat. You can configure things such that your glyph is always appropriate to your character's race. So like if you play an elf, you're an E. If you play a vampire, you're a V. Wow, I should not be in this corridor. It's closing off my escapes. That was a very dangerous thing to do. Even though I didn't expect anyone to come in this way, they could have, and then I would be in like a dead end, low on MP and unable to get away. I just remembered I was in the middle of saying something like a long time ago that I never finished. There's a thread on Tavern where someone was like, the early dungeon is unfair, or whatever, you know, the stuff people always say. This is an Okawaru altar, I think? Yeah. Which I would happily take. And or maybe they were remarking that 0.18 is too hard. I don't know. But anyway, somebody said, actually, you know, good players tend to, like, he said, you know, try watching some good players and see what they do, and try to do it yourself, right? And he remarked, like, I watched some players who get, like, these really good streaks, you know. Even streaking 2 games is, like, a big accomplishment. Once you've gotten your first win, it usually takes you a while to get to a second streak. But like good players can do it somewhat regularly. Like I'm on a 2-win streak right now, and I'm not getting murdered on Dungeon 1. And he said, I realized that they don't get into the dangerous situations I get into, right? It's not that they can escape from these ridiculous dangerous situations better than I can. It's that they don't get into them. And after watching for a while, I realized this wasn't luck. They were actively preventing bad things from happening to them. And that's what I try to do. Anyway, Okawaru is worth, like, practically no god points. There have been a million wins with Okawaru, but I don't really care. He's 34 wins with Okawaru. But he's just so good. I'll take it, I think. An early Okawaru altar. Who can say no? Yes. Yes. And we could maybe even go unarmed combat. Okawaru is quite good for that. Vampires have the highest unarmed combat aptitude in the game. There's not a humongous one, but it's a +1. And Okawaru is good for it, particularly because he gives you +5 to all of your skills whenever you want it, and unarmed combat benefits more than most weapon skills do from a +5 skill boost for reasons that aren't super important. Ow. This guy needs to die. He's poisoned again. Alright, I think we got him now? Yes. One thing I'm worried about is that this has happened to me before when I was trying to clear this castle. It was when it had gnolls, I think, on Dungeon 4. Is that if you spend a very long time on one floor, the game starts to get like, hey man, you should hurry up. And it creates monsters that are unreasonably difficult for the floor that you're on, called out-of-depth monsters. And like, for example, I saw a wolf spider on Dungeon 4 trying to chase me out of the gnoll castle. And it was like horrible. I think I just because they're fast, right? They're so fast. Spiders. Uh-oh. All right, let's bat for him. Yeah, wow. I'm so glad we can bat for him. There's way too many monsters up there to deal with at once. All right. And the Gnoll Castle just has so many monsters in it that a lot of early game characters need a lot of time to clear it. And we're spending a lot of time, so I want to like be alert to the possibility that an out-of-depth monster could occur. More decks, please. Got him. Wow. But we get a lot of piety, apparently, for killing those guys. I noticed on the first time we killed a big kobold. And so that means we've already got heroism, which is Okawaru's big deal. That's great. It'll help a lot with anything we decide to do besides spellcasting. Right, like, oh, why am I still training spellcasting? I forgot to turn it off. Let's work on dodging already. I think I do want to get Olgrebs going, but once I have Olgrebs, I'm probably going to switch to training some sort of melee ability. Perhaps unarmed combat? Not sure. If we found, like, we could go for a greatsword, and those are nice, but we could maybe take advantage of our vampire aptitudes and just go unarmed. Vampire aptitudes plus Okawaru, right? Seems like a good reason to go unarmed. And I just like unarmed. Means you don't have to worry about finding an appropriate weapon. Finding weapon upgrades all the time. It means, of course, you can find weapon upgrades. Except via transmutations, which as a vampire, we will not really have access to. Undead can't transform. Unless you're at, like, if you're full, you can cast other forms, but then you lose bat form, right? And I think bat form is better than most forms you can get as a transmuter, honestly. Because it's a runaway skill, and those are really good. There's a lot of ways you can deal damage, and you don't need forms to do it. Gosh, let's get out of here. Or at least build some distance. And so most characters don't have access to bat form, right? Even transmuters. I shouldn't have gotten that close to the orc. I came in because I wanted to, like, try to kill the orc, but it was dumb. We're faster than jackals, aren't we? Oh, we're not in bat form. Bat form failed, and I didn't notice. All right, that's what's wrong. All right, now we're in a decent corridor. We could stand and fight here if we wanted. Or we could run to, like, a staircase already. I think I'll stand here. We could use heroism. And then just sort of attack these guys. But I think I'll use the sling first. Or the sting, I should say. Because when they're lined up like this, your accuracy with sting is less important because you have 3 chances to hit. Right? If it misses the first one, it goes on to the second, and so on. So it's actually like, yeah, so you didn't need to use anything to survive that. How are we doing for time? It's been a fairly long one, hasn't it? Yeah, and we're only on Dungeon 3. I was hoping to finish Dungeon 3, and I think I will finish it in this video. It just means that it's going to be a while, because this Knoll Castle, which right today seems to be like a kobold castle, is just a slog. There's a lot going on in here. I think it's actually like a problem that it generates so many monsters that, like, you run into the out-of-depth timer. But I don't know. Maybe that's my problem because I play it so cautiously. You know, I'm sure a troglodyte could get through here much faster. Like, if you find this in depths and it's like the giant castle with, you know, fire giants and so on in it, like, you get through it pretty fast. Okay, he's fairly sick now. Let's make sure we have a retreat here. Dead? Nice. Let's just drink that. Jeez. Rest a bit. I don't like being on this side of him. I want to be on the other side. So that we can run away if we need to. Running east is dangerous. Alright, he's taken quite a bit of poison damage now. This should be enough to kill him off, I think. let's quaff another potion of blood, rest. Let's look at all these just everything littering the floor in here. Stones, clubs, everything. Okay. We finished that half. Yeah, this is not the Knoll Castle I'm thinking of. This must be a different, like, Kobold Castle. Because what I'm thinking of is, like, a more squarish shape, and this is a long rectangle. Interesting. I haven't seen this one in, like, forever. I feel like I might have gone in here in one of my very early games as, like, a Centaur of Nemelex, maybe? Maybe a Troll of Nemelex. I think it was my first Nemelex game. I don't know. I didn't have a very successful infiltration of the this Kobold Castle, in the sense that I was indeed killed. What did I do? Don't close yourself into a room. Bat form, leave, fly away, get out of there. Alright, now we can get back to fighting stuff. And of course, this is just the castle. There's actually a knoll here. Look at that. There's other stuff elsewhere on the floor to deal with, which I assume is where this knoll came from. Just die. Kobold in ring mail, huh? There we go. We got him finally. So I am actually worried about the out-of-death timer. And also just the clock timer of, like, how long we've been on Dungeon 3. If I remember, I'm gonna look over the footage and see just how long Dungeon 3 took me, because I suspect it's like, well, how long have we been going here? Almost an hour? Easily more than half of that, I think, has been spent on Dungeon 3. Normally Dungeon 1 is the floor that takes the longest, in my experience, because you are the most vulnerable, and it matters so much what you do. But this episode, I think it will have been Dungeon 3. But this is the end of the castle. And we're going to be level 7 at the end of Dungeon 3, which is pretty good. I'm thinking about heroism. How about Toxic Radiance? Actually sounds great. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's actually castable now, so that's great. We're just going to radiate poison, and they will all die. Right, we don't seem to have quite killed the big kobold. Although maybe. Maybe he'll get poisoned to death. Yeah. Alright, great. Did some poison damage to ourselves, of course. But with Cure Poison and with Vampire's resistance manipulation, that's not such a big deal. Alright, we finished the castle. Tell you what, guys, I'm actually gonna not even finish all of Dungeon 3. Now that we finished just this castle, I'm gonna call the episode, and we'll get back to it in the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.